Welcome to Fly for Fun. My name is Jordan, and I am going to do a quick review of these Lightspeed Zulu 4 headsets. I have been flying with, since I started my flight training, the Bose A30s. You know, they've been good. I haven't really had anything to compare them to. When I got this airplane, it has 2 seats. Occasionally I'm going to fly with other people, and so I bought a second set of headsets, and I decided to test these out. I've heard a lot of good things about them, and they're different. They're different. So some of the main differences is it does seem like the build quality as far as the materials that are used is maybe just a little bit better in the Lightspeed Zulus. The cable is nicer. The actual control box, I think, feels a lot cheaper. And so for whatever that's worth, I don't know. I haven't heard anyone really complain about quality issues or longevity or durability or anything like that. So I don't know how much that actually matters. As far as how they fit, something I noticed is I'm a small person, I've got a small head, and the Zulus, they're all the way up. Like, I can't push the adjustment any further up. It's almost like barely sitting on my head, which in some ways that's a good thing, but it almost makes it seem like these are just the default size for these headphones is for bigger head. Whereas the Bose, I feel like I could put a pair of Bose A30s on a child, you know, maybe not like a super small child, but I think it would fit better. Like, there's more adjustment range. For me, in my ears, in my airplane, the Bose A30s have better noise cancellation. That does not mean that these have bad noise cancellation. It's just that there is a noticeable difference between when I'm wearing the Bose A30s versus the Lightspeed Zulu 4s. Like I said, it's not unusable, it's not terrible. I can hear everything just fine as far as radio communications. I can hear the passengers when I'm talking to them. There's no issue with that. The cup fitment, right, because this is one of the big advertising features, is they've got a little bit either shallower pads or maybe softer foam at the top of these ear cups so that it can fit glasses and a hat better without breaking the ear sill. As far as I can tell, it works pretty good, but I honestly don't know if, compared to the Bose A30s, I don't think that I've noticed it's a better seal, if that makes sense. And again, maybe that's just me, maybe it's because I've got a small head. Between the two, just my own experience, I am personally going to fly with the Bose A30s, and I'll reserve this headset for the passenger. And that's just me. $200 extra. I think the Bose A30s are probably worth it. Anyway, hopefully that's helpful. Just my experience between the A30s and the Zulu 4s. So this video is being filmed a couple weeks after I originally did the Zulu 4 versus A30 review, and I've had a few more thoughts on that, a couple things that I want to share. I'm going to put in a clip of when I flew with my wife and what she had to say about the Zulu 4s.
These don't fit very well. I know what you mean. Like, there's a lot of wind coming in. So I guess I'm not down.
You don't want the airflow?
Well, it's just blowing and I can hear it in my...
Oh, yeah. You can angle it down,
yeah.
She doesn't have much to compare it to either. But really what it comes down to is the noise cancellation just was not as good. I took my sister-in-law up to Spanish Fort from St. George, and when she got in the plane, I told her, hey, hit the power button, that'll activate the noise cancellation. She did that. I asked her, hey, is it on? Is it working? And she just said, I think so. Right, so we looked and the light's flashing, so it's on, it's working. On the way back, because I went back up there a couple days later to pick her up and bring her back to St. George, we had actually bought a second Bose A30 headset and returned the Zulu 4 headset. So on the return trip, my sister-in-law was able to try out both headsets, and it was funny because we got in, I said same thing, hit the power button and noise cancellation will turn on. She hits the power button on the A30s and instantly was just like, wow, this is so much better. You know, and that's what I noticed myself is, okay, it does work. The Zulu 4 has active noise cancellation. It does work. It's not bad. You can fly in the air with it, and there's nothing wrong. But the difference when you go between the two headsets is pretty dramatic. And so I ultimately, like I said, we returned the Zulu 4 and just bought a second A30 based on the price point that they were at. If the Zulu 4s were, let's say, $800, then I would say it's a bargain, right? It's a totally good deal, and I think that would be good for most people. especially because of the price difference. Unfortunately, where they're not that far apart in price, really, when you look at it, it's about $1,300 for the Bose A30s and $1,100 for the Zulu 4s. That's only a $200 price difference, which granted, if you're talking about something that costs $100 versus $300, that's a massive price difference, obviously. The more you spend, so $1,100 versus $1,300, it's still the same $200 price gap, but because they're both right above $1,000, really, I just think the value is there for the Bose A30s. If you can get the Zulu 4s maybe used or for a good deal, or if they have sales or whatever, then it's a great headset. Go for it. Again, this is just my recommendation. I think it's totally worth it to spend the extra money, especially when you're talking about your hearing. It's something that obviously is important to everyone. I think it's worth it. Hopefully this helped you make an informed decision if you're comparing between the two. I don't have anything against Lightspeed or the Zulu 4 headset. I've never tried what's their higher end, the Delta Zulus. I've never tried those, so again, I don't have a whole lot to compare it to. This is not like I'm not a professional reviewer. I have no affiliation with Bose or Lightspeed. I've got, less than 30 subscribers on YouTube. This is not influenced in any way. This is just my experience. I feel like the hassle of returning a headset, the return process was super simple. There's nothing wrong with it. The downside is you have to pay for shipping, which again, it was like $20 or whatever. Like it's not that big of a deal, but it's still just kind of a hassle to buy a headset and then find out, I should have spent a little bit more and got the nicer headset. Hopefully that helps you make a better decision and avoid that return process if you don't want to go through that. Thanks for watching Fly for Fun. I would appreciate a like, subscribe, whatever. I am trying to make this more of a thing and put out more content, more videos. So thank you.